Hi there, everybody. I'm Trudy, One Grounded Angel, and this is the weekly angel card reading video for the week beginning Monday, the 12th of November to the 18th of November 2018. So we'll start shuffling today and see what's going to come up in the cards. I've chosen a card deck to start the week, which has the most beautiful illustrations, and every time I post a card on my Instagram from this particular deck, there's always an inquiry about who did these illustrations, because they're so beautiful. So I must remember to tag, the illustrator. Serendipity. So the word serendipity is an interesting one for me because it sort of implies that wonderful things happen to you that are meant to be. And those of you who know my work well know that I'm more of a fan of us making our own futures rather than subscribing to the popular belief that everything is preordained for us. So, you know, the movie Serendipity in the 90s, I love the movie. Who doesn't love John Cusack? But it does kind of put forward this idea that that the universe is going to keep intervening if you're on the wrong track. And to an extent, it will. The universe will knock on your door and give you cues to get out, but ultimately if you're on the wrong path, but ultimately you're in charge of your life. So if you've chosen the wrong path, then that's up to you. You've got free will, so your choices are your own. But I think the word serendipity often comes up in terms of romance, in terms of there's this one true love that you have that you are destined to meet, and all you have to do is sit around and wait for them to knock on your door. I'm not a fan of that. I believe in being active in the pursuit of our future, and that means getting ourselves into the right place to meet the person, because we can't manufacture that meeting ourselves. When I say active, I don't mean that you chase them down, but what I do mean is you have to be an active participant in that meeting, in terms of working on all your baggage, getting rid of, healing any wounds you've got around romance, and making sure that you're in the right place. So you're not, engaging in unhealthy behaviours, for example, that are going to take you off the course of that meeting. For example, if you developed some sort of addiction, you're not showing up for your life and working on your life and the way you need to be in order to be at the right place to meet that person. So the idea of serendipity is misunderstood, is what I'm trying to say here. And this card is not saying that everything you want is just going to flow to you. It can, but usually you need to do some work to get that. So the good thing about this card is telling you to watch out for those wonderful synchronicities that come occurring in your life that you didn't expect. And usually they're the result of choices you may have made in the past, or sometimes it is the universe intervening, but it might be that those are the consequences, not a helpful word, the result of choices that you've made. You're you getting on the right path, you doing all the work on your spiritual self, developing that, your personal development work, your growth. All that is going to start to open up. The energy shifts around you, and you do start to attract more and more things. Be aware of any coincidences that come up. No such thing as coincidences. So when things are coming up that you can't explain logically, that's something going on with the universe, and pay attention to what that's trying to tell you. I'm not sure if I made any sense with that. I feel like I kind of talked around in circles. I guess the reason I went off on that tangent is because I want you to understand that serendipity doesn't mean everything you want is going to fall into your lap. People often think that the right person is just going to find me if I just write my number on in this book, or how that movie went. And if they do, then it's meant to be. Well, no, it's meant to be if you want it to be. So then you need to actually make the most of those opportunities when you do meet them, and not squander them. So Isaiah. So so many of these birth cards. The time is right to give birth to new ideas. We had 2 cards around this last week and 1 the week before. So we are getting some serious fuel here to get going on what we want to create. whether it's a business you've been thinking about starting, a book you've been thinking about writing, a painting you've been wanting to do. Maybe you want to transform your garden into some landscaping paradise. I don't know what it is. So it's about projects. It's also about new ideas. Maybe you've got a new idea about how you can manage your time better, or how you can integrate more healthy choices into your life in terms of getting more exercise. Whatever it is that these ideas that have been coming through, this is the time to act on them. So do it. And this is the universe saying, hey, we've got your back. We're going to support you, but you need to show up and do the work. So commit to it. And it does mean looking at anything that might be stopping you from doing that. Any self-worth issues that maybe make you self-sabotage whenever you start something new. Wednesday, oh, it's an interesting one. Prioritize. This is also a very action-based card. It's asking you to be very clear on what you want and to not get consumed in the things that don't matter, which is sort of human nature, but just try and watch that tendency. If you were spending all your time worrying about what all the other mums at the school gate think of you and your fashion choices or your life choices, whatever it is, you really need to prioritize where you're investing your emotional energy, because that is not important at all. Because energy flows where attention goes. So it's very important that you take more ownership of where your thoughts are going and your focus, and make sure you prioritize on what's important. You're not spending time on things that don't matter, not just in terms of your thoughts, but also your physical time, what you're doing with your time. If you're spending all your time on social media, then you are missing out on opportunities to to do things that you want to do, like that business we talked about, whatever it is. So just make sure you're managing your time better and really prioritize what's important to you. Getting organized. I had this card for a little while, so we've got this one, the floral one, just like my, ooh. Well, that went weirdly, but we've got the right card. First step. Also a very practical card here. If you look at the scale of what you want to achieve, you'll be so overwhelmed you possibly will never start. This card is asking you to break it up and look at just the first step in front of you. If you're looking at, earning 200 billion, maybe don't focus on that. Focus on the first step, which is a business plan, or developing the idea, securing funding. I don't know what it is, but look at each step at a time, and that's how you move forward. You don't move forward, you don't climb a mountain by focusing on the highest point. You move forward by focusing on what's in front of you and dealing with that. It's that whole, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? So breaking it down is what's going on here. So they're really giving us some help with starting those projects or those ideas. Focus on service. Oh, it's a beautiful card. Look at that unicorn. Unicorns, I don't know if this is helpful to anyone, but unicorns are about miracles because they are things that very few people believe in and are said to be quite rare. So this is asking you to believe in things that seem incredibly unlikely or impossible. So there's that going on, but it's also asking you to look at where you can be of service. Often people will come to me in a reading and say, I don't know what my life purpose is, or I don't know what I'm here to do. And one of the things I usually ask them to do is look at what they're passionate about firstly, but not everybody has the passion. Sometimes passion comes as a result of starting something and then it comes through. But I also ask them to look at where they can be of service, where they feel called to serve. I didn't want to start this business. I'm an introvert. I don't really enjoy talking to people in this. I can't see you right now, so that does help a little bit, but the idea of being in this medium where people are watching me from wherever you're watching me from made me incredibly uncomfortable, and so I didn't want to do videos. I didn't even want to do posting the cards each day, but I did it because I knew that the benefits of people experiencing the messages that I was the medium for far outweighed that discomfort that I experienced, and I've become more and more comfortable as I go on. But it's not a natural fit for me. the reason I do it is because it's an act of service, and that is a huge motivator to do things. You see people run marathons. Who wants to run a marathon? Horrible. Yuck. But they do it because they're raising money for charity. And the idea of, doing something that is going to benefit others in ways that you might not even be able to measure is a huge motivator. It can help us get through all sorts of barriers and find resilience that we didn't know we had. So focus on service is about looking at where you can where you can help. And that might not necessarily be charities or community projects or anything like that. It might be the people in your life that you can be of service to. Now, when I talk about being of service, it's not about total self-sacrifice. It's not about putting your needs totally to the bottom of the pile and giving up everything you have to everyone else. It's about service in a way that that allows you also to still be nourishing yourself, because if you don't nourish yourself, you haven't got enough to give. We need to be giving and receiving, because otherwise the cycle's broken. Love needs to flow in both directions. So hopefully that's helpful, of service to you. Saturday the 17th of November. This is perhaps this is a patience card. It's taking a while. Patience is not one of my strong suits. Okay, decide to be happy now. Not about patience, but about doing what you have with where you are right now. So it's very easy to think things aren't great in my life right now, but they will be as soon as I lose weight, as soon as I get married, as soon as the kids are at school, as soon as I retire. I don't know, whatever it is. We have this tendency to delay our happiness for some point in the future, but by the time we get there, we're already looking at the next step because we are future focused. This is asking you to be present focused, looking at what you have now. You have enough to be happy now. You might not have everything your heart has ever desired, and you might not have, because you're trying to improve yourself. You're reaching for more, and that's totally normal. But the way that we welcome in more abundance is by appreciating what we have right now, acknowledging it, even the crappy parts. So this is asking you to, if happy is a stretch for you, I'm a little bit uncomfortable with the word happy myself, to be honest, because it does tend to invoke these ideas of this utopia where everything's perfect, and that's not the case. Things don't need to be perfect in order for you to be content. That's a better word. In order for you to be content with them. So this is asking you to acknowledge that maybe things may not be the best, but that there is something in there that can make you happy, that you can be content with, that is good. There's always something good in your life. And it's asking you to make sure that you are enjoying what you have right now, and you're not buying into that myth of later on when I win the lottery, then I will be happy. Really, sorry, I just kicked the table, the laptop's sitting on. Really enjoy what you have, and know that that's enough. There could be more coming through to you, and there probably will, but you don't get that until you enjoy. You understand that what you have is enough for you to. You have the components all here to be a contented human being. I know many of you are watching this right now and are struggling with a lot of different things. I don't want to make light of what you're going through, your challenges and your struggle and your sorrows, but I am saying that even in dark times, we can find something good. It doesn't necessarily outweigh the weight of what you're wrestling with, but it can be enough for us to see the light. We always need to be looking for the light. That's how we find our way out. So Sunday, power animal. This is one of those cards I struggle with, to be honest, because it's just so random. So when this card comes up in a personal reading, there are a couple of different things that are going on. Sometimes it is a pet of that client that has passed on, that wants to say hello. I'm still with you. And I'm fine, and I'm okay, and that I'm still around you. Not lots of people, that doesn't really do a lot for them because it doesn't relate. Some people it comes up because they need to be working with animals, and that's part of their life purpose, and they need to be, doing that in a voluntary capacity, or just spending more time with animals in their own personal lives, or you know, even in their work, whatever it is. But often what I find with this card, and you'll notice again we have the unicorn, that is not a coincidence. That's coming through again to remind you that impossible things can happen and you need to keep the faith. The other thing that happens with this card is about nature more generally, needing to spend more time around nature. If you think of animals more in the context of things that are living and breathing, whenever you are around things that are growing, you know, trees, plants, birds, whatever, there's a calmness that can come through there. It's not going to solve your problems or make them disappear, but it can help get you into the right mindset, the calm sort of frame of mind where you can more easily reach for those solutions. So it could be just simply asking you to spend more time in nature. And for some of you, you're just not doing that enough. And that is why you feel stuck and a bit stagnant and a bit starved. Yeah, it's a random card, that one. Doesn't come up very often in these readings. So I'm always a little bit surprised when it does. But I know you guys will see, will take what you want from it. So I think this big theme about needing to, I hate using the word birth. I find a lot of really wishy-washy, airy-fairy kind, not there's anything wrong with that. Those sort of bloggers are often talking, I'm birthing this and I'm birthing that. To me, it just, it's so weird. I don't like to talk like that. But, you know, even if you're not using that type of language, to me it sounds a little bit too woo-woo, but it is, says the angel card reader and energy healer. But I try to use, I'm one grounded angel because I try to use everyday language. But what this is talking about, the things that you are bringing to life. So if you can look at it like that, it might not be anything big. It might not be, you know, a new lifestyle or a new business or a new passion project. It might be something very small, like a new way to live in terms of the way you manage your time better, or gosh, it could be anything. But whatever you're trying to bring through that is new is the big word. A lot of energy around that word new. That's where your focus needs to be, and we're getting a lot of motivation to do that. And some practical advice here as well to help us with that. That is the biggest theme of the week, I would say. That's it. Thank you very much for watching. In fact, I don't think, just when you thought I was going to sign off, I don't think I've ever seen quite so many cards on the one theme before. We've got this prioritize, first step, and this one here on that strong theme. Service is definitely related, finding out where we can serve. Yeah, that's 4 cards on that one theme. Anyway, now I really am signing off. It's 18 minutes. Thank you very much for watching. If you would like to reach out and book an appointment, I do appointments via Skype, email, or phone for an angel card reading combined with an energy healing to clear what's come up, or straight energy healings, which are more involved one-on-one sessions, which are ongoing. So you can do that via my website, www.onegroundedangel.com, and you can find out more information about my services there as well. And there's a bookings tab as well if you want to reach out. These will be on my social media as always, each and every day. And in fact, random fact, I started posting a card each day on social media on December the 11th. This will be the 3rd anniversary. No, it'll be the 4th anniversary this December coming up. So maybe I'll have cake next time. Who knows? Anyway, my Instagram is @OneGroundedAngel. My Facebook page is One Grounded Angel. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to reading for you again next week.